Hey, welcome back to Math Quest. Hey, listen, today I wanted to make another video on fraction busting. So hopefully you've seen my first video on fraction busting. It contains some of the most basic fractions. But this one here contains problems that you're more likely to see in algebra. So this is properly titled Fraction Busting Part 2. All right. Hey, let's get started. I have 3 examples. So pay attention, especially if you don't really understand it. This will take you from the beginning down to an algebra level type of problem. So let's take a look at the first one here. We have a divided by 7 plus a divided by 3 equaling 10. Well, if you remember fractions, you would have to get a common denominator, then add them up and separate the a and you get it by itself and all that. So we want to avoid all that, and we want to just get rid of the fraction. So we want to focus on the denominators, and we want to get a common denominator still. So we want to look at the large one. The largest one here is 7, and I'm going to ask myself, can 7 be divided by 3 evenly? The answer obviously is no. So what I'm going to do is take multiples of 7 until I find something that 3 can go into evenly. So obviously I would go 7, 14, 21, 21. All right, 21, because 3 goes into 21 evenly, and so does 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose right here to multiply everything on top by 21. And notice I'm going to multiply everything, right? Every one of these terms. The reason I like to write it up here is because it keeps me from forgetting to multiply any of the terms. So, and notice I keep saying multiply. What I like to do first is divide. Divide and then multiply. So every time you have a fraction and you're trying to get rid of it, you're going to have to divide and multiply. All right? So let's do it. 21 divided by 7. 21 divided by 7 is 3. Since it leaves 3, now I multiply that times the numerator. 3 times a, simply 3a. Got rid of the fraction. That is the sole purpose of fraction busting, to get rid of the fractions. So let's do the same thing again. 21 divided by 3 is 7. So 7 times a is simply 7a. Equals, now notice here, you do not have a denominator for 10, or you could say the denominator is 1, but still. So then I'm not going to divide. I'm simply going to multiply 21 times 10. And that's going to give me 210. That's it. Now I solve it just like a regular equation. So we have 3a and 7a. That's going to give me 10a equals 210. I divide both sides by 10. And I get a equals 21. Final answer. It's that simple, right? Now, the solving the equation, I hope you understand how to do that now. If you don't, go back and take a look at my solving 1 and 2 step equations. But this video is mainly meant for getting rid of the fractions. So let's take a look at another example. Here we have 2x minus 3 divided by 6 equals 2x divided by 3 plus half. Yeah, that's a lot of fractions. It's starting to look a little bit complicated. Not a problem, because my main focus, once again, is the denominators. And I ask myself again, look at the highest value, 6. Can 3 go into 6 evenly? Yes, it can. Can 2 go into 6 evenly? Yes, it can. Therefore, this one is simple. I'm going to multiply everything by 6. 6, 6, and 6 right here. All right? Now, like I said, I want to divide first and then multiply because I believe it makes it easier. You can multiply first and then divide, but I think the numbers are going to get larger and it's more work. So let's divide first. 6 divided by 6 is 1, and 1 times all of that is simply all of that, 2x minus 3. There's my equal sign. Next, let's do it again right here. 6 divided by 3. Well, 6 divided by 3 is 2, and then 2 times this 2, right? Because 2 is the answer I got when I divided 6 by 3. So 2 times 2 is 4. And that one has an x, so it's just 4x. Next, 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then 3 times 1 is 3. Notice, I've gotten rid of the fraction. That was my ultimate goal. From here, let's just go ahead and solve it since we're here already. We have what? Let's move it here. 2x minus 2x. That will be my first step. I get negative 3 equals 2x plus 3. Let's subtract 3 from both sides. This gives me 2x equals negative 6. And then divide both sides by 2. And x equals negative 3. All right? That would be my final answer there. Pretty simple, right? Pretty simple. Hey, let's take a look at one more right here. All right. Whoa. What in the world? Who has a denominator of 3 minus x? All right. Listen carefully. What people like to do here is they'll multiply everything by 3 since they look and see, oh, well, 3 is common for these, so I'm going to just multiply everything by 3. You can't do that. This is a quantity. It's all together. I cannot separate those two. Otherwise, I'm changing the value of the equation, and I don't want to do that. So, this is the denominator, 3 minus x. So I'm going to multiply each one of these terms. By the way, this is a term, this is a term, and this is a term. So I'm going to multiply all the terms by x minus 3. So x minus 3 minus x, sorry. 3 minus x right here. 3 minus x right here. And 3 minus x right here. By the way, I know you love watching my videos, but don't just sit there and watch people. Get your notebook out. Let's write these down. Let's go. This is an excellent source for notes that you can use later. All right, let's proceed. So we got 3 minus x, and 3 minus x is the denominator. So those divided out equals 1, leaving the 3 by itself. So all I have is 3. Even the x went away. Always like our x's to go away. All right, moving on. This, and this simplifies, equaling 1, leaving the 2 behind. Oh my goodness, this is looking very simple now. Now notice here, this does not have a denominator, so I have to multiply 10 times all of this, which is going to equal 30 minus 10x, right? Because we distribute 10 times 3 and 10 times negative x. That's a minus x, same thing as the negative x. It gets treated the same way. So now let's just combine like terms and solve. This here, of course, equals 5 equals 30 minus 10x. Then we do minus 30 on both sides. This gets me negative 25 equaling negative 10x. Oh my goodness, this is not going to go in evenly, but that's okay. We're going to divide both sides by negative 10. And this here gets my x by itself. This here, another 25 is 5 times 5. And the 10 is 2 times 5. So I'm just going to simplify them by dividing both by 5. So I'm going to get 5 over 2 as the final answer. I messed it up. I don't like sloppy work. All right, here we go. Right here. 5 over 2. Please leave your fractions like that in proper fractions or not wrong fractions. That just means that my numerator is larger than my denominator. Okay? So hopefully this helps you understand how to perform fraction busting to get rid of the fractions. All right? Hey, thank you for coming. In my next video, I think I will make it so that we learn how to get rid of that decimal. Hey, that's a good one. I think that'll be our next video. So for now, thank you so much. And if you got value out of this, please hit the like and subscribe button. All right? And I'll see you next time on Math Quest. Goodbye.